Now, in my time, I have seen a lot of trailers, and I have understood that making a good trailer is a really hard thing to do. And today, the Stranger Things 5 trailer, the teaser trailer, just got announced with dates, right? And I love it. It looks like season 5 is going to be a proper ending. It's going to be grounded. It's going to be just a proper accumulation of everything that has happened. I think that with season 4, we really saw the focus being just completely drawn away from Will and the original idea of the show and more into this kind of just pure sci fi stuff, right? With season 5, it looks like we're just going to be getting that good old original season 1 feel because the trailer, I'm going to show it now, starts out with Will talking with his mom about the first night when he got kidnapped by the monster, by the demogorgon, right? And that just kind of signaled to me, hey, this is going to be about the origins, what really happened, because they just kept adding monsters. They did the demogorgon, then they did the mind flyer or whatever he's called, and then they did Vecna, right? And Vecna just seemed, I guess he kind of wrapped things up in the terms of origins of the monsters, but it just felt a little too much, right? I think it's better to have a simpler, more grounded story than a larger kind of zoo story, right? And I think that they kind of realized that because a lot of fans were saying this, and not now they're kind of clearly going back to ground zero, which is just great. But in general, the trailer was very emotional for me, right? I mean, I've been a Stranger Things fan for a long while, and I had kind of forgotten about it. But watching this trailer, seeing all of the old clips, I completely remembered everything I felt, every everything that happened, right? And it really all came back to me. And this trailer was just very emotional because it's like we grew up, right? It's about the characters growing up. It's about good things coming to an end, right? And in also kind of forgot to talk about this. In the past seasons, it was the focus was more on like 11, more on other characters, and not on Will, um, and basically the season is debuting this fall on November 26th, and then that's volume one. And volume two is going to come on Christmas, and the finale, which I think is going to be the final episode, is going to come on New Year's Eve. Which I really don't like that they're doing this because I like kind because what they're doing is they're creating like three packages, and you binge the first one, you binge the second, you binge the third. I really like the approach of releasing an episode a week because that way you still get an episode, you get some time to watch it, and you don't binge it because they try with this kind of approach, the volume approach. You kind of try to circumnavigate the binge factor, but what you also do is kind of create this uh still bingeable, but no, this kind of stressful situation for people. I think that's the only thing wrong with the Stranger Things season 5 is that they're doing this kind of volume approach, which I don't really find to be suitable. I really like when they upload an episode a week. That makes me want to look forward to the next next week much more, rather than oh, okay, I'll watch this, okay, that's great. Next Friday, oh, boohoo, nothing. But that's not the focus of this video. In the trailer we saw Will sitting in this room, right, and he was screaming "run." So I suppose that he might be sacrificing himself in order to save everyone, which would be, I would say, poetic. Obviously, I don't want to see Will die. Actually, I don't want to see any of them die. Maybe except for a couple of characters. But in general, I don't want to see him die. But I think that they're gonna, kill him because it would make sense, right, from him to have a poetic ending since he has just been so emotionally traumatized, so just kind of distraught. I mean, like they really messed up the character. Like he has no friends. Like he has been alienated from everybody. He's like, in season 4, he was just completely like background character crying in the back of the van, dude. Right. So I think this season they're gonna just make him the main character again, and they're gonna make him the hero. They're gonna make him like, the guy that kind of saves everyone. And in the trailer we saw some other scenes, and there was this flesh wall. There was the uh Mike's mom with the little girl, Max, with the black guy in the hospital. Here we see Hopper with 11, me Hopper screaming at her. It's really just a very interesting to see. I see also some new characters, right? There's Mike, and there's some fat guy in the background, some girl on my left, and on the right. So I think we're gonna be seeing some new characters. Although I don't really like that. It's really a hit or miss because if they introduce more characters, it's like. Are they going to be good characters? Because they're introducing characters in season 5, which is the final season, and it's like it's the finale, right? Nobody's really gonna care about these characters. Like they could be, meat for the machine, if you know what I mean. So maybe I hope they, not as important as they look. But it looks like there's some soldiers at some base, and there's stuff coming out from the floor, which it's really. Looks like there's gonna be some Demogorgons or something coming out. Again, the soldiers just holding guns. I mean, like, you would think that the U.S. military or whatever military this is, would figure out that there's like an existential threat to the planet, and they would not, resort to the conventional weapons which have failed over and over again. They would start, contact a scientist and start like, hey, we need like a radio gun. We need a sonic weapon or something, right? Because conventional guns obviously don't work. They only work with humans. But this trailer was just very epic. I loved it like a lot. It may. I had goosebumps through the whole trailer. That is something that happens with few trailers, but with this trailer, I just thought I was just like so hyped. That's also why I'm making a video, because this trailer, it's just something that resonates with me personally, because I'm a huge Stranger. I used to be a huge Stranger Things fan, right? I kind of stopped caring about it, a while ago. So yeah. Hope you like this video summary of the trailer. Hope you enjoyed. Like it if you liked it. Dislike it if you dislike it. Please subscribe to Ez's Games, and goodbye. See you next time.